Hello guys, we are back with our next lecture. In this lecture, let us go through the next topic, that is link state routing, guys. Okay, so in the last lecture we discussed about distance vector routing, right? Yes, so this is the next type of routing algorithm, which is a link state routing, and the protocol which uses is open source shortest path algorithm, guys. It is nothing but OSPF, open source shortest path first algorithm. Okay, yes. So now let us go through the understanding of this particular problem, guys. To be clear, I think I suggest you to watch Dijkastra algorithm before learning this, guys, or it will be the same algorithm. Anyway, you'll be understanding the Dijkastra algorithm with the help of this particular problem as we solve it step by step, guys. Okay, if you are having prior knowledge about Dijkastra algorithm, it will be a lot of helpful for you guys. Okay, yes. So let us start. So uses the concept of finding the shortest path. So even distance vector routing uses the same concept, but the way of approach of distance vector and this algorithms are completely different, guys, if you ask me. Okay, yes. So let us continue. So indirectly we apply Dijkastra algorithm at each and every node to find all pair shortest path between every two nodes. Okay, yes. So the first thing what we do is, so when this type of diagrams are given, first we will draw the all neighbors distances, guys. So from A I can go to B, I can go to D. So I will write from A I can go to A at 0, and to B I can go at 2, to D I can go at 3. In the rest of the place I will write infinity. So in this way you will fill a table, and this table is called as a link state database, guys. Got it? Yes. Okay. So now for the same example, let us start applying Dijkastra algorithm, guys. And one more thing that you should understand here is, so previously when we are solving these questions, so we always used to pass the whole table, right? Yes. But here we will pass only the table part which is having data. That's it. So in this way, each node has information, so that will be shared and finalized. Got it? Yes. Okay. So let us solve the problem. So once you are done with the problem, you will get more clarity, guys. I'm 100% sure about it. Okay. Yes. So let me draw the diagram here, and I'll be drawing the table below. Okay. Yes. So here we are having A, here we are having B, here we are having C, G, F, E, and E. The cost is a 3, the cost is a 2, the cost is a 5, the cost is a 3, the cost is a 1, the cost is a 2, the cost is a 5, the cost is a 4, this cost is a 4. Okay, yes. So once you have entered all the so here this is our routing table, right? Yes. So once we will be drawing the Dijkastra. So let us start that algorithm from A, guys. So we will be finding, once the algorithm ends, we will be finding the distance from A to each and every one, like A to B, A to C, A to D, A to E, A to F, and A to G. Okay. So what we will write here is, so first let us draw a small table. So from A, via which variable we are going, so we will calculate to A, B, C, D, E, and F, and G, right? Yes. So initially we will assume all the distances are infinity, guys, because we don't know where we can go and how we can go, right? Yes. And let us keep blanks in the place of via place. Okay. So as we are starting at A, automatically the distance to A will be 0, right? Yes. So the distance A to A is 0, and without anyone's help we can go there, right? Yes. Few students will be writing A here, but if you want, you can write, or else you can keep it empty. Okay. So now moving on to B. So from A, where you can go, guys? I can go to B. Okay, with the cost of 2. So assume them as rupees as your bus charge or some kind of charge, or it takes 2 minutes to travel in that way also. So it is just a unit of something. There's now clarity, like it is cost, it is time, it is that, it is this. Okay. Yes. So 2. Okay, with the help of how I can go here, with the help of A I can go here. Okay, similarly from A I can go to D with the cost of 3, and with the help of A I can go here, right? Yes. So now I am done with the A, right? So just draw an arrow in that way, guys. Okay, so now A part is done. Okay, so now the rest of the items which are available, so among 2, infinity, 3, infinity, infinity, which is the smallest, guys? B is the smallest, right? Yes. So now you will mark B. And from B, where you can go, guys? From B, I can go to C, right? Yes. So I can go to C with the help of B. Means with the help of B means what will be the cost, guys? Okay. So it is nothing but a 5 plus 2, right? So the previous cost also I will calculate, because I am calculating the distance from A, right? Yes. So the cost to C will be 7, and with the help of B, I will be going. Okay. So from B, I can go to E also. Okay, it is nothing but 4 plus 2, which will be 6, right? Yes. So with the help of B. right? Yes. Okay. So that's all I can go, right? Yes. So now among these three, which is minimum? D is minimum. So from D, where you can go? I can go to E at the cost of 5. So if I calculate it is 3 plus 5, it will be 8. But I'm already going at a distance of 6. So which is minimum, guys? Is 8 minimum, 6 minimum. So 6 is minimum. So no change. Got it? Yes. So now this is done. So from D, I can go to only that place. Okay. So what is the next minimum, guys? So the next minimum is E. Okay, so from E I can go to F. Okay, so with additional cost of 2, so 6 plus 2 will be 8, and with the help of F I will go there. Okay, so from E I cannot go anywhere. Okay, so now which is minimum? C is minimum. Okay, so from C I can go to G with the cost of 3. So it is nothing but 7 plus 3, so this cost will be 10, right? Yes, so with whose help I am going? With the help of C. Okay, so now which is minimum? F is minimum. Okay, so from F I can go to G. The cost is 8 plus 1, 9. So if you observe, 9 is minimum or 10 is minimum, guys? 9 is minimum. So this will be updated to 9 and the path will be updated to F. Okay, so now we got the whole table, right? Yes. So now if I ask you, I want to go to, so assume in that way. So I want to go to G, guys. Okay, so how I can go? So the best approach for this is reverse approach, guys. So where I want to go from A to G, right? So first write G value on this left rightmost side. So G. Okay, so to G how can I go? With the help of F I will go. Okay, similarly to F how I will go? With, sorry, just give me a second. To F I will go with the help of F. That's my bad, it is E, guys. Okay, to F I will go with the help of E. To E how I will go? With the help of B. To B how I will go? With the help of A. So from A we got the path to G, and the cost to G is nothing but 9. Got it? Yes. So in this way you can calculate the distance between any two nodes, and this exact algorithm. So we applied some algorithm here, right? So this algorithm is called as a Dijkastra algorithm, and it, for our particular link state routing, this particular algorithm will be applied on each and every node, guys, and F and G. So basically I solved for one, so basically it will be applied for rest all also. So at the end of all the solving, you will get the whole table of each and every node, right? Yes, and you will be filling this table only. So this table I told initially it was empty, right? So this table will be with full of values. Got it? Yes. So now you got an idea, right? Yes. But the only advantage which students as we have is, so if some examiner wants to ask the question on this, so he need to give some pinpoint things, right? Because if he asks the final destination table, why do we use these algorithms, guys? We can directly calculate it, right? So if someone asks me how I can go from A to E, I will check. So with this path I can go with 6, with this path I can go with 8, with this path I can go with 7 plus 4 plus 2, which is really long. So I can conclude that I will go from here to here with the cost of 6. That's it. So problem is done. But who will use this algorithm? So no one will use. So that is the reason why most of the time he will be asking theoretical questions from this two algorithms, or he will ask a situation. So basically he will give a diagram and he will say that this particular link has been broken. So now what will be the effect on C and F, and what will be the changes in those tables, and how sharing will occur. So those type of logical questions he will build. Okay, anyway there are few questions in that way, guys. I'll be discussing them anyway in the PYQ page, so don't worry. Okay, yes. So now you got an idea, right? So how exactly Dijkastra algorithm is working, and we also discussed how exactly this link state routing is working, right? Yes. Okay, so now let us go through some small differences between this distance vector and link state, guys. Okay, so distance vector routing is popular in the 1980s, guys. Okay, similarly linked state routing is popular in 1990s. Okay, so distance vector routing uses local knowledge. So basically it will go from one spot to another space and it will slowly search for the thing, right? Yes. Whereas link state routing, it is going to have global knowledge. So basically if you observe this table, this simple table can say for anything, right? So from here I can go to anywhere just with this table, right? Yes. So that is the power of this link state routing. Okay, so distance vector routing uses okay, so it uses our RIP, right? So that is nothing but routing information protocol, where link state routing uses OSPF, that is open source shortest path first, right? Yes. And in distance vector routing we face a count to infinity problem, and that problem doesn't even exist in link state routing, guys, because of a solid reason that we are going to share only partial tables. If you observe here carefully, so when I am sharing a table, I am not sharing A0, right? Yes. So you are not share yourself, and you will not share the data which you got from that node. Okay, yes. Count to infinity is not there, and here you will be using it at when there is low traffic, and here when the traffic is high you will be using it. Okay, yes. So now I hope everyone got a clear idea, right, with respect to this distance vector routing and link state routing. Okay, so now the network layer is also done, guys. So in network layer, if you ask me which is the most important topic, it will be networking IP addresses, guys. So we discussed about IP header, we discussed about fragmentation concept, how offset is set and all those things. Then we discussed IP addresses like classless, classful, and mostly you will be getting more questions from them, and rarely we will get the questions from this routing concept. Okay, yes. So now I hope everyone got a clear idea, right? Yes. So in the next lecture, we'll be starting the discussion about a transport layer, and in transport layer we will learn two major protocols, guys. So the first is a TCP and the second is UDP. And to be clear, TCP will occupy around 5 to 6 lectures and UDP will take 1 lecture, guys. Okay? Yes. Okay. So I hope everyone got a clear idea. So in the next lecture, let us introduce the concept of TCP and the concept of transport layer, and we'll be going through some things about transport layer. Okay? Yes. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe for more awesome videos like this. Thank you.